Well, thank you for having us tonight. We really do enjoy putting this slideshow together for you guys. It's a really nice way to just wrap up the year, and the students make it easy for us because they make us look really good every year. They are doing some outstanding things, so I'm excited to share some of the stuff we have going on. So the first thing I just want to go over is what we're going to talk about. We're going to start out with what happened this year, talk a little bit about the result of this year, and then what was new this year. So we've been really lucky with our events that I've had Mrs. Sussman with me, and we've both been here. This is actually, I'm finishing up my last round with all of the house principals, so I've been with each house principal, and we've been able to really adapt our programming to fit the needs of the students and add some new things each year. So this year we did do a few new things, so you'll see in the items that are starred up there are new things that we've added. So in October we added a new school for an instant decision day. So if you're not familiar, instant decision days are when schools come out and they give our students an admission decision on the spot. So it takes a little bit of organizing on our end, but it's really nice when the kids can get that exciting news in person. We also in November added on a career field trip to Johnson & Johnson. I was blown away by that field trip. It was so cool and hands-on. The students had the opportunity to walk around on the manufacturing floor and see how different medical devices were made. So if they're interested more in that 2-year track, it really kind of fit their interests. Or even the 4-year level, they talked about different ways you could move up on the manufacturing floor. But then we went across the street and they actually did a little bit of engineering themselves. They were designing a plate for wrist fractures, and they got to work alongside engineers, and that was a really cool experience for them. So we're hoping to do more things like that this upcoming year. You also see up there that we had a counselor in the workplace experience. So during one of the in-service days, we helped set up a connection with 2 different construction companies, Clover Construction and Worth Construction, and we sent all of our counselors out to see what it's like in the workplace, and they really came back with some great feedback about how amazing it is to see these different opportunities that they have. A lot of times there's some stigmas that go along with the trades, so it's a nice way to sort of break those stigmas and get our counselors seeing what it's like in action. We also did a Thaddeus Stevens field trip where we brought students out to see the campus. That was also in February. It's a little cold, but the kids really liked it, and we actually had some students enroll after that, so that was exciting. In March, we followed that up with Manufest, another field trip, so we've been getting students out of the building. So for Manufest, students were going to the Oaks Expo Center, and there were, I think it was somewhere around 80 different manufacturers who were there, who were looking to hire students. So we had a couple students get job offers or interview offers there. They were kind of excited when they came back with us, and we also had some sophomores and juniors who just had a better idea of what's actually out there. Montgomery County is actually one of the largest manufacturing counties in the state, so it was cool to see all of that in action. We also did a field trip to the Pottstown campus of Montgomery County Community College in March, so again piggybacking on that career focus. So for that, our students got to go out and get this micro-credential with them where they were learning some workplace skills that they could actually write on their resume. And by attending that field trip, they got a pretty large stipend to be able to continue on with one of the workplace programs in Montgomery County Community College. So if you're not familiar with the workplace programs, they are 6-month and 9-month programs where students are getting hands-on job skills. And they said that the biggest problem they have with those programs is that they get hired before they finish the program. So that's kind of cool too. So we actually had 2 students this year who took advantage of moving on into that workplace program, and they got their full program covered. We had another student who decided to go on for the massage therapy program, and that program is a little bit more expensive, so that one was only partially covered, but still pretty exciting stuff for our students. We did ASVAB interpretations this year, so our students who took the test actually sat down with someone to review how that connects them with a career. We got a lot of great feedback from that. And then the other new things that we have are going on in the summer. You heard last year we added those workshops. They were very successful, so we're continuing with the workshops. We've added the self-reporting application day. Many of you may have heard that colleges are moving to having students self-report their transcripts, and that's a scary process for a student. They get really nervous about getting everything right, so that's a day where they can come in, we'll print out their transcript with them and sit alongside them as they fill that part out and make sure they're doing it correctly. So I think you're pretty familiar with the other events that we do, so I'm not going to hit on any of the other ones. If you do have any questions, of course, you can ask. We did have 108 college reps visit this fall. So that's on par with what we've had in the past. That does not include our college fairs. So that's one-on-one visits where the reps come out and sit down and talk to our students. So we do have a lot of action with that. Decision Day is always a huge success. It keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. This year was really fun. Our students picked the theme Up, Adventures Out There. So if you want to check out some of the pictures from Decision Day, Erin has put those up on SmugMug so you can see sort of what the theme looked like. But the students had a lot of fun with decorating balloons, saying where they were headed. They took a lot of celebratory pictures with families. There was a lot of snacking going on, lots of donuts. And then we even had special prizes for career-bound students to sort of encourage them to get out here. So that was a huge success, I think. And testing, we're always doing a lot of testing. So you can see our numbers are pretty much on par with last year as far as how many students were testing. We did add on that August test date, and it's very popular with our students. They're testing the weekend before they come back to school, and our numbers, that's pretty much capped because I can't get a whole lot of people who want to come into Proctor the test at that time of year, but we're working on that. So we gave out a lot of tests, and you can see our AP numbers went up this year for the new number of students tested and also the number of tests taken. So our students are really taking advantage of every opportunity that's here. We had our students apply to 347 different colleges. We sent out 2,365 transcripts. And keep in mind that our biggest schools are self-reporting now. So these are ones we sent out before we sent out the final transcripts. And so Pitt, Penn State, and Temple are all doing the self-reporting. So that's not included in that number. So you can tell the students are really applying to a lot of schools. We did send over 1,600 letters of recommendation. Shout out to those top 5 teachers. It always impresses me that they write that many letters. And we have Jackie Ritter right here, number 3 with 80 letters. I just think it's amazing that they're able to do that, and sometimes in a really, really short amount of time, depending on when the students request it. So a couple stats about the class of 2019. Every class looks a little bit different, but this year, as far as where they're headed after Spring Forward, it's pretty much on par with last year. We're a little bit up in the 4-year college attendance rate, a little bit up in 2-year college attendance rate, 6% for employed and 2% for military. A new stat that I thought that you guys would enjoy was the major breakdown. You know, what are they actually going into? And I was blown away by that 41% in STEM. Keep in mind that's a lot of health careers too. A lot of students thinking pre-med, nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy. They're really blowing up with our classes. But we still have a high percentage of business and undecided right there at top 3. So we're hoping that with more exposure, you know, it's still okay to go in undecided, but we want them to know what's out there so that they can be a little bit more well-informed when they get into college and are picking those majors. Going the distance, we have a lot of kids going out into the Midwest. I was kind of surprised by that. A lot of always the Southeast. Everybody loves Florida. A couple on the West Coast still. So we do have students really branching out, which I think is exciting to see, but our top 5 is the same, just in a little bit of a different order. And you'll see Penn State up there. That's really only main campus, so we're sending a lot of kids to Penn State. But great school, so kudos to them. And then a few highly selective acceptances we get every year. This year we had a UVA Jefferson Scholar, which was the first year for that, so that was exciting to see up there. And then, of course, Hopkins, Bucknell, UPenn, MIT, we always like to see those names up there too. So a couple of really good schools. Our students, I felt like this year did not want to report how much merit scholarship money they got as much as they did last year, but that's still a pretty big number for not a lot of them reporting. So I'm still proud of that number, just shy of that 3 million mark. And then we've got 7 full tuition or full ride scholarships on the table, whether it's merit or athletic money. So that's a really great thing to see too. New this year, we had a couple things. So we've done the Financial Reality Fair before, but Andrew Rothermel actually helped us put together a pretty great video for the Financial Reality Fair. So if you have not seen that and you're curious as to what that looks like, you should definitely check that video out. The student feedback is just phenomenal from that program. I just love seeing them come out of it and say, oh my gosh, so what's the trick here? How do I make money? So go talk to the financial advisors. But then we also have a new video that that we did on dual enrollment and advanced placement. Some of you may know that that night was snowed out, so we created this video, and it's been pretty well received. We'll probably keep going with that program next year, but it's nice to have that as a supplement to the program as well. And then a couple more new things that we had going on. I mentioned that micro-credentialing day. That was really exciting. And I just have some pictures from some of the other field trips. You can see bottom left corner was Manufest, where they were learning about different manufacturing companies. So there's a little bit of robotics, a little bit of construction. The kids loved all the free giveaways. You can see the construction hat up there. Top right was from Johnson & Johnson. So they actually got to drill into a fake bone and put screws in and stuff. So again, it was really hands-on. I think they really got a lot out of it. And we also have a new job board outside of our room, so students can come by, and it's a variety of different things, whether you're looking for a part-time job, summer job, or a career. There's a lot of internships up there, apprenticeships, making sure that that information is out there for the students. Previously, we put all this stuff online, and it was kind of hard to gauge how many students were actually reached with it. What's really cool about this is there's slips of paper in there, so I know when all the papers are gone, students are actually seeing it, and they really are disappearing. So I know that kids are walking by and they're picking them up, and I hope that they are taking advantage of some of those. I know we do have a student who's working with the intermediate unit this year. She got one of those internships, and it's a great opportunity. She's working with an environmental agency in human resources this summer. So we have some students doing some really cool stuff. And that is, I think, everything I have.